my attention goes first to me to see how I look in the group photo. If I think I look good in the photo, let's keep it. If I think I look bad, delete. It's all about me. Never mind how everyone else in the photo appears. Say what I say, and I will do what you say. If you say what I tell you to say, then I will do exactly what you tell me to do. Again, it's all about me. When I have a paper cut on my finger, it hurts. Ouch! It's a big deal for me. If someone else has a paper cut, no big deal. Who cares anyway? Not about me. 4 forms of life are one body. 4 forms of life are one body. 사생일신. Through our Dharma training, we contemplate this expression a lot. What are the 4 forms of life? In Buddhism, they refer to an ancient theory of the birth forms of all beings. Womb-born, egg-born, moisture-born, such as worms and insects, and metamorphosis, such as butterfly to caterpillar. This approach attempts to account for all forms of living beings as a single organism of which I am but a part. From this perspective, all these forms of life are considered to be my own body. So we should treat them as if it actually is my own body. When another sentient being's body is hurt, I fully empathize with the pain as if it were pain in my own body. Therefore, there is no partiality of care and loving compassion between my body and another's body. It is no longer exclusively about me. When Reverend April cuts fruit, she eats the end non-sweet piece. She saves the best part of the fruit for others. It's not all about me for Reverend April. One summer day, I pulled out weeds in the garden. I was so hot and sweaty. Suddenly, Reverend April appeared in front of me with a plateful of watermelon. She said, "Reverend Ginger cut some watermelon for you." I sat down on a rock and started eating the nicely cut watermelon. I could tell that Reverend Ginger and Reverend April picked the most delicious, deep inside red part of the watermelon for me. When I had the first bite, second bite, and more bites, I felt spiritual awakening. The coolest and sweetest flavor deeply quenched my thirst, and I truly felt the selfless loving kindness from our Reverend sisters. For them, it's not all about me. As I continued working in the garden, temple grounds, happy perspiration emerged, watermelon sweat. Then suddenly, a few whiffs of a cool breeze blew over me and cooled me off. I felt free. I felt free like the breezy wind. For the breeze, it is not all about me's. Sky, earth, and nature is there in the form of sunshine, rain, winds, and storm. There is no harboring idea of all about me. Nature just exists, doing whatever it does naturally, distributing its bounty without prejudice. When we have the mindset or attitude all about me, we human beings easily get into conflicts with others. How can I free myself from myself? The root-bound prison of all about me is developed around my body, my health condition, my feelings, my frustrations, my ideas, my thoughts, my life, my creation, my image, and my reputation. How can I free myself from myself? Would you like to know? Would you really like to know? Simply step out of the safe comfort zone of the familiar. You know where the easy path leads. It is familiar. Instead, choose the harder path, the path of vulnerability. See where that takes you. Why not walk the hard path softly and continuously? Choice, not chance, determines our destiny. Transformation. What does transformation mean? Change. A dramatic change, a thorough and everlasting change. Do you want to be changed? Do you want to be changed? Carl Jung said that we cannot change anything unless we accept it. Changing ourselves is difficult. We've been shaping ourselves for a long time, accumulating habits and lifestyles. We may believe that is our identity, and maybe we do not wish to change what we think we are. When we become complacent, we miss the opportunity to make changes for the better. And we call this changing process self-transformation. In order to grow, snakes have to shed their skins. Some trees, like birch, or this is from clay model, have to shed their bark to grow. It's so beautiful. I love to touch our clay models. Every day grow out new flesh, and they have to shed this bark every day. For us, in order to grow and transform, we have to shed stubborn skins of our egoistic beliefs, egoistic images, or egoistic selves. When we take off our personal self, it feels like being naked and vulnerable. Sotaesan guided the 9 disciples to kill their personal self so that they could be reborn as a greater self. It was so scary for them at first. Why do I have to kill myself? We worked hard for the Levy project, but if we all are dead, what was the point? Then Sotaesan said, if you totally surrender yourself, that is the path to truly live. The disciples still could not fully understand, but they wholeheartedly trusted their teacher. So if you have a true Dharma teacher who you can fully trust, you are one lucky person. Then how did Sotaesan choose his first 9 disciples? When the prayers from the 9 disciples were about to end, their minds and spirits became more focused, became more centered, and so pure. There was not a single iota of self. Therefore, there was no fear of death. Their prayers became one with heaven and earth because there was no self holding them back. No self, no fear of death. The 9 students were chosen because they dropped their personal selves and were ready to receive all the guidance from their teacher. They could have lived and died as ordinary people, but they became his first disciples by letting go of their private personal selves and stepping outside of their old familiar skins. Even after death, the reverberations of their efforts lived on, and they became recognized as the founding fathers of Won Buddhism. You too were chosen. You too were chosen and selected when you chose this path of practice. Our senior teachers often say the names of all the Won Buddhist practitioners around the world were already written in Sotaesan's personal pocket handbook. I'm not sure if this literally means his pocket handbook or his spiritual mental notebook. In the same way, when I check my contact list on my phone, I am thinking of you. I may not call you, I may not send you text, but I think of you. I will see your name and think of you, like the names in Sotaesan's pocket notebook once you are in my contact list. When I talk to some senior teachers, they say, Wangong, remember, your body is not a personal body. It belongs to the community. So you are responsible, take a good care of it. Do you think so?
Yes.
If you have been a consistent practitioner and volunteer in our temple, you may notice that I often approached you and ask you, say ah, and then pop a piece of food in your mouth. Or make sure you drink some water. We do this because we truly feel that your body belongs to our community. Yesterday morning, during the standing meditation, one of our friends lost consciousness and collapsed to the floor, right here. We called 911. In the meantime, everybody supported him, and with all the loving care, whatever we can. Also, some people just meditated and prayed for him. It was a really powerful reminder that it really is not all about me. That day, we all learned that it was definitely all about someone who needed our support and care. All about someone else, someone who needed our help. All about community. So your practice and dedication beyond yourself becomes the foundation stone of this practice community, not only in North Carolina, USA, but in the whole world. So happy practice journey and happy self-transformation.